the Michael Jackson movie was a huge miss because the Michael Jackson movie was trying to be Michael Jackson. Here's what I mean. They tried to make him look iconic in every single scene. And so, like, they showed more of the myth more than the man. We already know he's a god. We know he's like the biggest star in the world. But like, we're watching the biopic because we want to see him as a man. But every single scene, they did this thing in. If you watch a lot of biopics, they have this scene where like the actor is having an epiphany, right? Like they see something and then they have a realization, and then they're there like this, and then the camera zooms in, and then they have a little smile on their face because they just figure something out. Like most of the scenes were like that. Even as a child, like he's watching James Brown, and then they zoom into his face because like he's learning how to do the steps and stuff like that. And then all up until one of the like my least favorite scenes in the movie where the part where he was making Thriller, right? And it's like the whole scene was he was just trying to show him as this genius coming up with the sounds and stuff like that, and he's over there doing right? And then like they do that for so many scenes, and then there's no real payoff because it's like they achieved their goal of trying to show him just coming up with the sounds and doing these amazing things, and he's doing steps in the studio. And he's in the studio alone. And that leads me to another thing. Like, I knew the movie would be bad when they didn't show how he met Quincy Jones. Like, they didn't show how the relationship began. But we saw how he met the fucking chimp. Right? We saw the truck come in. We spent so much time on him, on this chimp wearing a diaper, walking to Michael Jackson. Like, what the fuck, bro? Seriously. The whole time, I was just watching the thing like, wait, what's happening? I'm just seeing scenes happening. And I'm not learning anything. I'm not learning anything new about the guy. I already know he's iconic. That's not why I'm watching this fucking. That's not why I paid money. I'm trying to see the man. Like, what was going through his head in his life, bro? Like, if you're a big Michael Jackson fan, you already know a lot of the stories about his life already. But you want to see it dramatized, right? But every single scene was them showing him having an epiphany. Like, he goes into the room with the lawyers or so, and like, the way they showed how he met that guy, but they didn't show how he met Quincy Jones. Like I've forgotten the guy's name. But they show the guy's like he said he wants to be the biggest star in the world and he wants to do that. They show him meeting that guy, the lawyer guy or the manager guy or whatever. But not Quincy Jones. And the whole making of Thriller scene, where was Quincy Jones? That Quincy Jones made that stuff. Right? There's this particular scene that's when I lost it. So there's this scene where he's watching. They are reporting gang violence on TV, right? And he's watching the whole thing. And so I was there with my friend William, and William was like, oh, okay, they're going to do, the next thing they're going to do is bad. And I'm like, oh no, it must be human nature, because he's watching this whole thing. He's watching the gang violence go on. He's sad about the gang violence. The song that fits that whole thing is Human Nature. So then they show a scene where he's lying down in bed, and they start playing the instrumental. They had this really beautiful like movie version of Human Nature. They start playing the melody, but it's like this orchestral should I say a remix of the Human Nature song. I'm hearing the Human Nature melody, so I'm thinking the next thing would be him making Human Nature, right? The next thing I want to hear is like right, and then we're seeing him in the studio making Human Nature. The next scene is him with the gang members, and he's doing dances and stuff. And the whole thing had a vibe of, wow, look at Michael Jackson. He's doing these dances with the gang members. Like, wow. And then he'll do something and he'll be like, yeah. And it's like, what the fuck am I watching, bro? What's going on over here? This thing is not nice. It wasn't great. And Janet Jackson agrees, okay? Because right over there, we were asking, like, me and William were asking, like, where's Janet Jackson? She's not in the movie at all. Like, they don't show her story. She's not, and she's like the other successful Jackson, the other most successful Jackson. So why is she not in the story? Turns out, Janet Jackson did not like the movie. She did not like the creative direction. There's this article where they said something about her she was in a private screening, and she had something to say about every single scene. Like every single scene she did not like. And it made sense to me, right? Because like they missed the mark so much because they just, you know what it felt like? It felt like Michael Jackson was in the room while they were making the film, and they're trying to impress him the whole time, right? Because they tried to make him look like this god every single scene, and it's like, that's not what I'm here to fucking see. You understand? Like, if he can't be having an epiphany every single scene, because when he has a big epiphany or they have a big moment, it doesn't land. Like the Thriller moments did not have enough weight because every single scene was trying to be like that, right? It didn't hit. It didn't land, bro. And but it was money well wasted. money well wasted because it was money worth wasting because it's Michael Jackson. You understand? I like when the cinema, there were a few scenes where people started clapping because it's Michael Jackson. And oh yeah, at the end of the film, I've never had this happen before, but at the end of the movie, when the movie ended, everybody was like, like I'm not joking. The cinema, everybody was like, because we didn't think it was going to end, because it didn't feel like an ending, because nothing really happened. There's nothing climactic about the whole thing. It was like he did a bunch of concerts and then the thing ended, and everybody was like, that was the reaction. And then people walked out, and that was the Michael Jackson movie. I do have to say, the guy, Jafar Jackson, hey, he did incredible. Okay, he did incredible. First of all, when the movie when the pictures were coming out first, people were saying that he didn't look like Michael Jackson and the nose, and it was looking funny. But I'm telling you, at some point in the film, I started feeling like I was seeing Michael Jackson. Honestly, like he started looking like the guy. Like I think when he was doing the moves and he was doing the dances and stuff, it was like, yo, this guy really put in a lot of work for this thing, and I think he deserves praise for that. But they really missed the mark on the movie, and the only reason why you would disagree is because you're a stan. And listen, we are all Michael Jackson stans. Like, this is the thing about Michael Jackson. Michael Jackson is maybe the only artist in the world where it's okay to be a stan for him. Well, not the only one, but like he's one of the guys that he's the only guy where he has maybe 90% stans. I've never met a Michael Jackson hater in my life. Right? I've never met a Michael Jackson hater in my life. Like, it's either you really like him or maybe you're just in the middle, right? But it's Michael Jackson. So the only reason why people I've seen people saying that, wow, the movie was incredible. It wasn't, right? But I get what you're saying. You are watching it through Michael Jackson colored lenses. And I also did, but I'm sorry, like, I also happen to want to see good movies, especially when I pay money for it. Okay, I mean, shout out to the people who made the film, but they already have money. I don't. You understand? So when I pay money to go and see the film, I'm trying to, and if it's a Michael Jackson film, listen, Michael Jackson film, don't stop till you get it right. I'm tired. Don't stop till you get it. They shouldn't have stopped until the movie was right, because it's Michael Jackson. Okay, but that's not what happened. The movie wasn't that great. It just wasn't, bro. I'm telling you, it wasn't. Unless you are not a movie person, unless you don't like storytelling or listen, biopics are never great, but this one was not great a lot. Okay, because Michael Jackson, right? And so yeah, that was I went to see it this weekend, and it wasn't great. But I think you should go and see it again. I think it's a movie worth wasting your money on because it's Michael Jackson. If you really like Michael Jackson, you get a kick out of watching the whole thing. The Joe Jackson stuff, it didn't land for me. Like, they didn't make him look like a villain enough. And the moment where the moment that was supposed to be Michael Jackson finally stepping up to his dad, it didn't feel like that. Like, when he was on stage and he said that this is going to be our last tour, and then he came out and Joe Jackson was like, it's not over. It's over. It's only over when I tell you it's over. It didn't feel like a win. It didn't feel like a win to me. Honestly, it did not. And not just me. From the reaction in the cinema, it didn't feel like a win to so many people over there. But at least we got a Michael Jackson movie. At least we got one where he doesn't look weird, because the other ones they made him look really, really weird. But yeah, I didn't like that though. I don't want to keep talking about Michael Jackson movie tomorrow. Hey, how's everybody doing? How you guys doing? Let me wear my headphones. I've not been wearing the headphones the whole time. I have my headphones. Anyway, how you guys doing? How's your week been? Well, I'm dropping this on Monday, so how's your week going to go? How do you think it's going to go based on today? How is going today? Sorry, I'll be dropping this quite late in the day. Sorry, because they are taking the light again. Right, we're having power issues again, and they don't want to tell us that Doomsaw is back, but it's looking like Doomsaw is back, because yesterday, the whole of yesterday, I didn't have light. I had it a little bit in the evening until this morning, and the light is gone off again. Right now, I'm shooting without lights. Like, everything I'm using is rechargeable. Everything I'm using to record this, the lights, everything is rechargeable. I don't have lights as I'm shooting this. It'll probably come in the evening, and then it will go off again in the morning. And I'm hearing that they're doing some maintenance. They say that they're doing some maintenance, but like, it has to be clear, bro. Like, what's going on? I've seen some press releases by ECG, but it's too much. Like it's feel like it's too much. It's too much, right? Because when Doomsaw was around, we know that okay, the lights goes off. Those days when we used to have the Doomsaw like proper. I was writing exams at that time. By the way, I was writing my final exams. I was writing what's here at the time. My final senior high school exams. By the way, and it would go off 12 hours and then it would come back 8 hours. Sometimes it would go off 8 hours and come back 12 hours. But now we don't know what's going on. And because of politics, nobody wants to really say what is going on. They don't want to say that Doomsaw is back because Doomsaw has a negative connotation. But it was this same government that when the Doomsaw was happening proper, right? Well, at least nobody from, unlike the last government, nobody has come to tell us that we should make our own timetable. My God, I think I had a dream about that guy. I had a dream. He came in my dream. We said last night. I think last night I saw him in my dream. He was doing something. I forgot what it was, but I saw him somewhere in my mind. I know I saw him somewhere in my mind sometime. But that's what's going on right now. It's really frustrating because it's delaying a lot of my stuff, like videos I want to post. It's delaying me quite a lot, and I don't like it at all. But what can we do in this kingdom of Kubala? What can we do when people are running our kingdom of Kubala like this? Okay, listen, the Kubala guy, let me tell you something. The Kubala guy, I'm a fan of the Kubala guy. What he's doing is crazy, and I don't know, he's probably doing a skit, he's probably content, but let me tell you something. A lot of people want to do what he's doing. Here's what the Kubala guy did. Okay, here's what King of Kubala has done. A King of Kubala lived life. He went through the system. He realized the system was shit. And he has done what most of us wish we could do, but we are not able to do, which is that he stepped outside of the system, created his own system, created his own delusion, and he's living in it unapologetically. And he became famous for it. Okay, he has become widely known around the world for stepping out of the system and doing something that most of you wish you do. Like right now, tell me right now, with the life you're living right now, you don't wish you could just leave everything behind, go into some bush and just claim the land and live over there and have food to eat. If you're a man, you have 2 women, right? You have 2 women. If you are a woman, you have a man who gives you a sense of security because he acts and cosplays like a leader, right? He's the king of Kubala. He has reporters coming into the bush to come and talk to him. That is magnetic. I'm sorry. And he's a very talented individual. He used to be an opera singer. He had his own award show, he and his wife. Bro, some people will be drawn to that kind of thing. You understand? And I think if you go deep into it, that is what is that's the allure of what he's doing. That's what is so attractive about what he's doing. Because he's doing what most of us wish we could do because the system is so fucked. He just checked out. And he checked out like a king. Like a motherfucking king. He's the king of Kubala. Kubala in his way. Right? Because a lot of people have tried to do it but failed, but he has done it successfully. Well, that's relative because he's back in Ghana. He has been deported back to Ghana and he's about to establish the Kubala kingdom in Ghana, and the president has to bow to him. The kids have to bow to him. I dropped a video about this yesterday, I think. And yeah, he's the king of Kubala right now, and I don't know how he's going to set up the kingdom in Ghana. I think he should come to me. I'll give him some tips. Honestly, I think I can show him how to go about it. I can show him how to go about it. First of all, he needs to find all the people. He needs to find all the people who want to be like him, right? He needs to go into the corporate sector, the banks. You know that guy who stole 12 million Ghana cedis recently? That guy is stupid. He should have taken that money and begun his own kingdom of Kubala. You see, the only thing the king of Kubala doesn't have, and this is one thing that I've been thinking about, and the only thing that he doesn't have is an army. And if you think about it, think about the world, right? Think about the world history. Most of the people that have gained power in history is because they have an army. Why is the president so powerful? He's the chief. What's the name of the title? He's the chief commander. He's the commander in chief of the army. That's the reason why a president is powerful. Like the king of Kubala, if he went into the bush over there and he had 300 men who were highly skilled military guys, his story he wouldn't be a laughing stock, right? You know, in the movies when they say, like somebody says, I'm here to take over the land, and then they ask him, you and what army? The world still works like that today, right? Because look at Donald Trump. He's doing all these war crimes, doing all these things because he has the greatest army in the world. Why is he still walking around? Has he not been arrested and put in jail? Because he has the greatest army in the world. When they went to kidnap the Venezuelan president, why was he able to do that? He has an army. The Venezuelan guy had an army too, but not a powerful army, so he has been kidnapped. Right? King of Kubala, if he... Hey, listen, I'm not... He shouldn't do it, right? It's not good. I don't think armies are not good for the world. Armies are a negative part of humanity, right? Because armies are trained to kill. Even protection, right? What are they protecting them? Protecting the people from? They're protecting people from another army who's there to kill, right? And listen, even civilians, like, why do I walk around in this country, Ghana? Why do I walk around freely? Because the police is my friend, right? The police is my friend, and also we have an army. If somebody's come to attack us, you know that the military men will go and fight for us, right? And we know they are good. Right? Ghana has one of the best armies in Africa, right? And that's what it is. So he shouldn't do that. So that's bad for the world. You don't need an army to take over a land. You can do it another way, right? And the way I describe it is, the way I think about it is that there's a difference between Michael Jackson and let's say, try to use Genghis Khan. I was going to use Adolf Hitler, but the algorithms don't like his name. But Hitler, right? Hitler commanded a lot of people. Michael Jackson also commanded a lot of people. People were fainting because of Michael Jackson. The difference is that one is a dictator and one of them is a seducer, right? There are different ways to gain power in the world. You can do it by force or you can do it by persuasion. And I wish seduction was more prevalent than the force. You understand? I wish that one was more. I wish that one was being done more. I wish the presidency, or I wish that's how wars were fought. I wish wars were fought with seduction. I don't wish war was fought at all. But like, I wish the primary way of gaining power in the world was seduction and not by force, because the world would be a much sweeter place. You understand? We'd have presidents who would want to impress us. I mean, I guess they do that with politics, right? Politics is seduction, if you think about it. Politics is like, it's a more corporatized, serious kind of seduction, right? When they come and say, I'm going to give you everything for free. I'm going to do this for you. I'm going to do that for you. That's what your boyfriend does. That's what men do, right? When we come and say, I'll take care of you. I'll take care of you. I'll protect you. I'll be your army. I'll go take bullets for you, right? That's what we are doing. So I guess even in love, there's war. Because protection, right? If somebody comes into my house, if somebody breaks into my house, I've promised my girl that if somebody comes, I've not said this before in my mouth, but no, I've said it before. I've said this before, that hey, if anybody fucks with you, I'll kill them. And I mean it. You understand? I mean it. And a lot of men do, right? Like, if you love your girl, like, you know that feeling, right? If you love your girl, sometimes you even fantasize about it. You fantasize about beating somebody. Sometimes you do this. A lot of guys do this. You fantasize about beating somebody because they're fucking with your girl. Right? Something that guys think about. Because you have been conditioned, like Superman, Spider-Man, right? In all these movies, what happens is like somebody's coming for their girl, and then they go and fight the guy, and then the girl's like, oh my god, look, he fought for me, right? You think about it sometimes, right? But if you think about it, like, we are all politicians, like men. We are all politicians to our women, right? A lot of us lie. You understand? A majority of us lie. And then there are a few of us who are honest. Right? Every now and then, like Nelson Mandela comes on. I mean, even Mandela, South Africans will say they have things to say about him. Every now and then, a good president comes along, a good politician comes along, but most of them are liars. Right? It's part of the job, right? So it's some kind of seduction if I think about it, um, uh, 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 politics. But then I wish when it came to negotiation with different countries, when it came to when conflicts arises, I wish we would do the seduction parts more than the fighting parts. Like I wish, let's say, like two presidents have a conflict, right, and they meet, two kings or whatever in history, they meet, and then one of them tries to seduce the other, maybe sometimes sexually. Right? When I use seduction, I'm not using it. I mean, seduction has a sexual connotation to it, but I'm just imagining if the world was like that, like if like Genghis Khan wanted to take over a whole city, right? Like Genghis Khan, who's an absolute, like he's like the boss of all bosses when it comes to war. Um, let's say he went into a city and instead of trying to fight his way through, he can seduce the other king and suck his dick, like seduce the other king, turn him into a gay guy, get him to be his lover, and then take over, like the Cleopatra way, right? Cleopatra was known for, well, I was reading a book on Cleopatra recently. A friend of mine gave me a book. I've not read it completely, but listen, the girl was fucking. Okay, Cleopatra was fucking, like, and she knew how to use that pussy. She knew how to use a pussy. She knew how to use a pussy to rise in the world. And it's not just her. Many women have done that, right? There's a woman called Katerina Sforza. I think there's a show about her. Or if you play Assassin's Creed, I think she's in Assassin's Creed. Katerina was a woman who she grew up. Her dad was a guy who. Oh yeah. If you read the Laws of Human Nature by Robert Greene, he has a story about Katerina in it, and she grew up. Her dad was a very strong a king. Was it a king? I think, and he was a very masculine guy, but he also was in touch with his feminine energy. Right, like they describe. They describe the story is told that she'll see her father cry sometimes. Right, he was like a whole human being according to the story, and so the father taught her, like she was a full woman, but the father also taught her that, like, to tap into her masculine energy. So she was very strong. And there's a story of one of the biggest events in her life was that she held, was it Rome? I've forgotten the city. I've forgotten the main thing. But there was a conflict, there was a war. She had a castle and she held the castle for like 11 days. I'm forgetting exactly. Oh, Charlie, I apologize, but you can look up Katerina Sforza. The spelling is Svorza. And she held a castle, and they're coming to get her in the castle, but she held them at bay for like 11 days, I think. And there's one crazy story where they said they invaded the castle, they took her children, and they said she should surrender or they'll kill the children. And according to the story, she lifted up her skirts and told them, "Look at my pussy." I'm paraphrasing. Like, look at my pussy. I can have more children. Like, you can kill them if you want. Like, I can have more children because I have a pussy, right? And she was pregnant at the time. So like, look at me. I can have more children. I don't give a fuck, right? I'm not. You're not breaking me because I want to kill my children. Kill them if you want to. And that's a very masculine thing. You understand? A woman cannot do that. Like, a person who is not in touch with their masculine energy cannot do that. You understand? And so Katerina was like, I guess she was more masculine. She was like a good balance of both. You understand? So I guess sometimes you need to fight. Sometimes you need to fight. I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about, by the way. I've completely lost my train of thought, but I'm trying to get back on the train. So walk with me. I'll get it back. Just walk with me slowly, right? But the thing is, I wish that history was more like that than the war way. Like I wish that like Genghis Khan, I wish he was seducing men and making them gay instead of fighting and killing thousands of people to try and take over the land. I wish that Adolf Hitler, I wish he would try to seduce all the other countries. I wish Donald Trump was out there sucking dick instead of trying so hard using force all the time I wish listen, there are stories of the people in, is it Afghanistan, one of these countries, where apparently like gay culture is very, very huge over there, which is shocking. But There have been stories of soldiers going around saying that they'll see men casually sleeping with other men in Afghanistan or Iran, or I don't know. I may be wrong, but I wish that was the case more than invading and fighting people and killing them. You understand? But the world doesn't like sex. The world, well, we like sex, but we are all wholly about sex, and we are all wholly about seduction, and so we see it as an evil thing, right? We see it as an evil thing, but then people will gladly fight and kill other people in the name of the Lord. You understand? And that's not good. That's not good. And so, a king of Kubala, I don't want him to get an army, but make no mistake, the army thing will work. But I don't want him to get an army, because then there'll be violence. But what he can do, the king of Kubala, is that he can go into the corporate world. That's where I was. I'm back. We're back on the train. Go into the corporate world, right? Look for other people who absolutely hate being there. And it's a lot of people. Majority of people. I saw this meme recently where the guy was at his job. He looked at a note and he said, I always want to quit, but when I look at you, I remember why I need to keep going. And then they revealed a note, and the note said food and housing. Most people are living life because they need food and they need housing, right? They don't like what they're doing. He can go in there, start slow, start by finding the most charismatic person over there who doesn't want to be there, the person who has influence. It could be the boss. It could be there's always a young guy who has a lot more influence in the office, and people will follow him. Get that guy. Understand? Get him to understand that the systems, get him to buy into that stuff, that the systems have been designed to do this and do that. Get them to buy into all of that anti-culture, anti-work stuff, right? And the moment you get one guy, he will bring more people, right? Tell him that you can make him fishers of men, like Jesus Christ. Right? Jesus Christ didn't go when he started his ministry. He didn't immediately go and start shouting in the air. No, he went and found disciples who had, well, I don't know if they were charismatic or not. I mean, Peter was, you can tell Peter had aura. Right? Peter had aura. Judas was a thief, so he definitely had aura. I don't know much about the others, but based on what they happened, based on what they achieved after Jesus Christ went, he picked the right people. You understand? You find those disciples, right? You don't get them to quit. He might think that, you get them to quit the job to join him. No. They should stay in the job and spread the news and penetrate into the companies and penetrate the minds of the people at the job, right? The more you do that, your followers will start increasing. Because here's the thing about starting a kingdom. You need to start a kingdom that will outlive you. And that's one thing that people don't understand. People who try to do this stuff, they are selfish. Their ego is not in check. They want to get the benefits while they are alive. That's not what you do. You need to make sure that when you are alive, you are absolutely going to suffer. That's what needs to happen, right? But it needs to be to the point where when you are gone, the thing will outlive you to the point where it becomes a force of nature and nobody can stop you, right? So you give them the mindset. And here's the thing about it. There's enough evidence around them for them to believe the mindset. Because there are 1,000 things that happen every single day for you to hate the world. You understand? There's 1,000 things at your job that makes you hate absolutely everything. 1,000 people that... 1,000 people who are dumb and they are your superior, and you know that they're not supposed to be there, but they are there because of some corruption, and they are fucking things up, and you get the blame because you are the lower one and nobody can talk to him, right? Or her. And you know all of this is going on, but you can't say shit. You understand? You're frustrated with the world. There's so much of that. It's so easy. There's so much frustration in the world. So just plant the idea and let the world work for you. You understand? King Kubala, I'm talking to you right now. And let it run like that for a year or two. Right? And then you start doing meetings. Don't call them into the bush to go and live with you immediately. You start by doing meetings. You start by bringing people into, you have weekly meetings. You have like a Sabbath. You understand? The playbook is there. You can do it. You have a Sabbath. You get them to be coming, meeting every single day. You spread the ideas. Right, and give it to them every single day. You start writing your book, the book of Kubala, right? You start connecting to a deity. Does not have to be real. Okay? It doesn't have to be real. It could even be like, you can even take like an old god, maybe you one of the muses, one of the Greek the muses. Take somebody from Greek mythology, find some mythology, take a god from there, repackage the god, and then like present it to the people. And then as you do that, now some members will rise. Some members, the charismatic ones, will rise among you, and they'll also start showing leadership skills. You empower them to be leaders, empower them to continue. And before you know it, you have a movement. Before you know it, people will start preaching the message, and you don't even have to be there. You understand? And then you now start letting it be known to the people that you have operation costs. You have things that need money to run. So they need to start donating money. And once that happens, you are good. You are good. The trap that you definitely fall into is greed. Greed will always fuck you up. Do you know the reason why Jesus Christ is, and this is not to King Kubala anymore, I'm talking to everybody. The reason Jesus Christ is the guy, he's like the guy, is because there was no greed involved in his movement. Like, you need a movement that is defensible. Like, in this day and age, there's a lot of anti-Christian sentiments right now on the internet, like on African internet, right? But the reason why Jesus Christ, like Christianity, is so resilient is because, it's very, very deep rooted in the culture. But the character of Jesus Christ, like, it's just so, it's defense. Like, you can't say anything bad about Jesus Christ. What are you going to say about him? You can hate these people. You can hate like, what they are doing today, and the fake pastors. But the guy himself, he didn't allow greed to get him. No. But most people today, they allow greed to get them, and then when greed enters it, people can't defend you anymore. You understand? People can't defend you anymore. Or, things will be divided. You understand? You'll be divided, and you can't be the guy. You can't be the main guy. You understand? You have to let go of greed. And once you're able to let go of greed, your movement is going to live forever. I'm telling you. And that's what it is. And I wish him well. Kubala Eli's way. I wish him well. Usually I'm very judgmental towards these kind of things, but I'm changing. You understand? I'm changing. I'm seeing that. I'm not going to join. I'm not. I think he's still stupid. You understand? But hey, there are reasons behind why people do these things. And if you look at his power, a lot of people want to do this kind of thing. Like, a lot of people, at least they have a certain they relate to the sentiment a little bit of just living everything and living life. You understand? Like, living life as you want it. Right? Not having the burden of all of these things that have been sold to you as developments, like AI. Bro, I saw this crazy thing where they said they hired a philosopher. I think Claude AI, they hired an in-house philosopher, I guess, to help the AI become conscious. Well, not become conscious, but to help the AI think. I'm like, are you people fucking insane? What the fuck is going on, bro? Are you people mad? This is so crazy. An in-house philosopher. And then they said, I think they said, if you talk to the Claude AI in a harsh tone, the AI will get into anxiety mode, and it will start giving you less accurate answers, like a human being, right? If a human being is anxious, they're not very, very accurate, I guess. They're not 100%, right? So if you are nice to the Claude will give you good answers. If you're not nice to the Claude will give you bad answers. I'm like, what the fuck are we doing? Are you people crazy? Again, this whole thing is being sold to us like developments, but the AI is going to make things harder. Like, it will make our life easier. But if you know anything about humanity, as things get easier, our life gets harder mentally. Mentally. But the world has gotten much better. The world has gotten much better than before. This one thing that we have to acknowledge too. The world has gotten much better. Those days, a lot of things that would kill you back then, they don't kill you anymore because healthcare has exploded and all that stuff. So I guess it's cool. I guess it's cool. I guess it's cool for everybody. But we all relate to the sentiments these days of wanting to leave the system. And it makes sense. It makes sense. So King Kubala Elizwe, I'm waiting to see what he'll do in the country. I'm waiting to see how far he'll go. I saw there was a video of him in Sunyani, and he was sitting down over there thinking very hard. And if he's smart enough, he can spin this into something big. You understand? And all he needs to do is to die in a way that will legitimize the movement. You understand? Like Jesus Christ. Yeah, yeah. Like not everybody dies and rises up. Like if you're able to pull that off, you're bound to live forever. You understand? Right? Like once you die good enough, you are going to live forever. So like if he's able to pull that part off, he'll be great. He'll be great. He'll be great. Yo, there's this thing. I saw this news some weeks ago about a guy who stole a police armored car. Bro, Ghanaians are getting too bold. What's happening to us? We're becoming too bold and too crazy. Like this guy stole an police armored car. So they said that the news is that the police left the car. He was going to buy something. I think he was going to get something from a shop also, and he left the car on. And this guy just sat in the armored car and drove off, and they chased him and got him. And you know what's crazy about the news? I've read article after article after article, and they don't give a reason. I was trying to find out why he would do that. There's no why. He just did it. And I am jealous. I'm jealous of that guy. I wish I had that guy's spirit. The method is bad. The madness is good. Okay. I don't like the method, but the guy has the right madness. He has the wrong method though. Like he just saw. I'm wondering what went into his mind. He saw the thing. He saw the guy. Was he timing the guy? Because the way they describe it, it was like an in the moment thing. He saw the guy leave the car, and he thought to himself, I don't know. Maybe he really really wanted to drive an armor car. Maybe he had just watched a war film. Maybe he had just played Grand Theft Auto. I don't know. But he saw the car and in a split second made a decision and then went in and drove and then got into the car and drove away. I wish I had this guy's madness, bro. Because my madness, here's what would have happened with me. Let's say I wanted to drive the armored car. I'll stand there and first of all, I'll think about my life choices. I'll think about the consequences of this. What could happen? How will people view me? How would the people around me view me? If I make it to the news, how my family view me? How would history view me? How would people see me? What would happen? And then I wouldn't do it. Now, in that situation, it's a good thought process to have. But most of us have it in almost every situation, right? You want to do something, but you spend 6 months overthinking every single bit of the whole thing and trying to get a thing perfectly. Look at this guy. He just ran into the car and drove off. No reason. Well, we don't know the reason. We haven't been told the reason, but he just did it, right? He just did it. And many of us wish we could do that. See, this is the thing I'm saying about the king of Kubala. Most people do crazy things, but the attitude they have is enviable. Honestly, I'm very envious of this guy. He just went into the whole thing and just did it. If that energy could be harnessed, right? If that energy could be harnessed in the right way, this is why environment is important. And the environment you grew up in is important, because if that could be harnessed in the right way, imagine if that guy had proper dreams in life. And he was brought up well, but he still had that madness. Well, anyway, if you are brought up well, you wouldn't have that kind of madness. The world is so crazy, bro. It's like a fucking puzzle that you keep solving. But every single time you put one piece, you find the right piece. 1,000 more wrong pieces. 1,000 more wrong. What am I saying? Every time you find one right piece, it just reveals that you need to find 1,000 more right pieces, because a lot of other things go wrong. It's crazy, bro. because you don't just run into an armored car. If your mother was shouting at you when you were a child, and so you've developed a certain amount of fear in public because being you've associated being confident with being problematic, because when you're growing up they did you high stop a lot, right? So you've internalized the fact that as long as you are unproblematic, then you can maintain peace, and that means you're a good person, right? Most of us grew up like this. You erase yourself because it maintains the environment that is calm for everybody else, right? And it can be a good thing when you're a child and you want to go and put your hand on a hot stove, but then when you grow up and you have an idea and you want to execute on the idea for your business, it's not a good thing. Because you're afraid that to piss people off, or people will not buy, or nobody will do this or nobody will do that, right? It's not a good thing. But what was I saying? I've lost my train of thought again. Walk with me for a second. We'll get back on the train. I've lost it, but we'll get back on it. But if you didn't grow up with your mother shouting at you hi, that's when you can just see this armored car and just sit inside it and then drive off. But if you are taught to be obedient and taught to be law abiding is good. But if you're taught to be overly respectful of the environment around you, then you can't do things like that. And unfortunately, maybe you also don't start the business. Maybe you also don't start the podcast. Maybe you also don't start the TikTok. Most of you wish you were dancing in 2020, because the people who were dancing in 2020, guess what they are doing now? They are still dancing and making money. No, not all of them. Some of them fell off. Some of them they are on drugs because their fame was too much for them and their mental health is fucked. But hey, once again, it's a puzzle piece where when you find one right piece, 1,000 wrong pieces appear. And that's just the way life is. But some of you wish you danced in 2020, but you are afraid you didn't have the madness that this guy had. Right? So imagine if this guy also danced in 2020 with this madness. You didn't have the madness of this guy. And that's what you need sometimes to be able to do the things you want to do, because you want to do things, but you're so afraid of what it will look like. This guy, listen, at most, what happens to him? He doesn't go to prison for this. This doesn't take it to prison. I don't think. Well, it's a big offense. So he'll be inside for some time. But the consequences are not that great, right? Like nothing crazy happens after this, But a lot of good things can come out of that mindset of, I saw this thing, I need to go and do it. 1, 2, 3, go. 1, 2, 3, go. And he's just gone. My goodness. Ghanaians are getting bolder. And it's good. I think it's a good thing. And these are the, when you're making a product, you make a couple of shit prototypes, and these are the prototypes that are coming out. You understand? But every now and then you get Kwame Nkrumah. You understand? Every now and then you get somebody great. You get Kwame Nkrumah. Every now and then you get, I'm trying to think of another good person. You get Asamajan. But even Asamajan means the penalty. But every now and then you get a good one. So let's keep going like this. King Kubala, the guy who stole that thing. We had Ebonoa recently. All of those are just bad prototypes. Let's just keep going through them, and hopefully, at some point, we would make it. We'll make it. I'm sorry, I'm a little bit off today because I've not had a good last 2 days. I've been going through some shit that I'm not the type to be vulnerable online or whatever, but I'm not completely 100. I'm not like all the way there today. And that's okay. I mean, I've come to understand today that it's okay, right? Because I had a classic situation where I won't go into detail, but like I solved an issue that I thought, well, I haven't solved, but I got into a situation where, how do I say this? Like I got into a better situation, and then I thought that would solve everything, to solve every problem I had in this life, and it didn't. Like the celebrities where they're like, I made so much money and I thought to make me happy, but I was still sad on the inside, right? Yeah, that's what's happening to me right now, in a different way, not in not in that way, not in the money, not in the I made so much money way, not in the celebrity. I became so famous, and then I thought I'd be happy, but I was not in that way, but in another way, like sorry, like I thought like something would fix everything, and it isn't, and I'm feeling I'm feeling kind of empty about it, and it's okay. It's okay. I'm just learning. It's all a learning process, I guess. I'm just learning slowly that there really isn't a fix in this life. There isn't, like, this life is not permanent, but life, like living, is permanent. That doesn't make any sense. So I hope you get what I mean. Like, you're never done. And I think that's my problem. My problem has been my problem a lot of the times. Like, I always had this fantasy of being done with certain problems, right? Like, I want to be done with this and be done with that, and I never want to have to deal with this again. But you always have to deal with things, right? Like, it's life. You're going to have to deal with things, and it's continuous. And when one thing disappears, when one thing disappears, another will appear. And also, if I knew what I know now, I wouldn't have prayed to God to, like, direct me to my purpose in life, because the more I find my purpose, the harder things get, like, internally, not externally. My life is much easier externally. I hope nobody's knocking, than before. But this is quote I heard recently: the better I get at living life, the harder my life gets. Is that it? Let me see. I think, let me quote the right thing. I posted it somewhere. Let me quote the right thing. Where is it? The better I get at life, the better I get at life, the harder my life becomes. So if you're praying to God right now and asking for Him to direct you to your big purpose in this life, and you're thinking that it's going to be sunshine and rainbows, it isn't. you know, if a lot of people knew what knowing your purpose actually is, they wouldn't do it, right? They would be like the king of Kubala. They would run away from it, or maybe that's his purpose. I don't know. But that's what's happening to me in a nutshell. Like, I'm like growing into who I'm supposed to be or whatever, and it's not the way I thought it would be. It's not it's not looking the way I thought it would look like, and I'm having to deal with that because when we all imagine living our purpose, we all imagine it with lights, and we all imagine it like it's sunshine and rainbows. We all imagine it comes with happiness. Or no, not it does come with happiness, but we all imagine it comes with this permanent fulfillment. And I guess there's fulfillment, but you also lose a lot, right? It's a lot that you have to let go of, and that's what's happening to me right now. I sound like a bitch, bro. This is my masculine conditioning, my societal masculine conditioning appearing right now is making me think I sound like a bitch for talking about this. but yeah, like I'm not all the way there, but it is what it is. And I want to say I'm not all the way there, but things will be good. But I'm letting go of that idea now. I'm letting go of that idea that everything's gonna be okay. Right? Everything's gonna be good. Everything will be fine. I feel like sometimes it will be good, sometimes it wouldn't be, and it is what it is. That's just yesterday I was sitting on my bed. I was playing a game or something. The lights were off. I was playing a game on my phone or something, and I felt like I zoomed out, and I was feeling like shit, and I felt like I zoomed out of myself, and then I was just thinking like, yeah, this is it. Like this is how it is. This is how it goes. This is our life sometimes. You understand? Sometimes you might be eating, the food will be great, but every now and then you bite on the paposhito and the paposhito will burn you. And that's how it is, And then you also bite on the chicken and chicken is sweet. And that's how it is. This is what it is. And I have to let go of this idea that I will ever be done with dealing with some of these problems, some of these internal problems. I will never ever be done. Like, no, you'll never ever be done. You just get better, just get stronger. You get used to, it's like playing football in front of in a stadium full of people. When you start, you it's very nerve-wracking because there are all these people watching you, but you just get better at handling every single thing around you, right? It's like learning how to play an instrument, learning how to play drums. when you start, you're not able to separate you don't have the mental separation to be able to play with your hand and your leg and this thing and have it go simultaneously. But with time, you just get better. You just get a muscle memory of dealing with your hand, and then now you can focus on other things and you can learn other things and then that's just how it goes. That's how it goes. There's no being done. You never finish. Um, and so yeah, that's what's going on with me. Let me know what is going on with you guys. How's your life going? Are you praying to God for Him to show you who you are? And I want to know who I am. And let me know. Yeah, it gets harder. It gets harder. It gets harder. It doesn't get easier. It does not. But you get stronger. You get stronger. Oh my God, I sound like a motivational speaker. Oh fuck, bro. Anyway, yeah. I hope you guys are great. Let me know. Let me know in the comments of the if you're watching on YouTube, if you're listening on Spotify. I think I leave comments on Spotify. But whatever you're listening to, I hope you're good. I hope that everything is fine. And if everything is not fine, you always have the option of leaving and going to start your own Kubala kingdom in the bush. And I won't judge you. Everybody will judge you, but I will not judge you. And so yeah, I'll see you guys same time next week. Bye.